it's also like someone like, and like someone like Hunter who did this thing where he would work with me instead of like giving me all the ideas. He would say, what do you want to do? He's like, I got you for a reason. And in the beginning, and that as on the beginning of NXT, I was super confused. I had so many people in my ear, and it really took me a while to kind of figure out who I was and what I needed to do. Case in point, like my first match on TakeOver, that was just not good against Andrade. It was just not what it needed to be. But we were instructed in a certain way, and now we at least knew what we did not want, right?
Yeah.
And I think at the third TakeOver with my match with, and like it's obviously a bit of a different individual nowadays in terms of like mentioning him. But, let's look at the wrestler, not at the person. But Velveteen Dream, I remember vividly telling Hunter, like, let me do this. Let me call this. If I completely screw this up, then the ropes are back in your hand. You tell me what you want to do. Because I had a good feeling about this one. And I had a feeling of like, no, I think I know what he wants. So when we did what we did, I came back. He's like, I am never telling you what to do ever again. And I was like, okay, thank you. And it was from there that he really started to work with me. And I'm sure still like throughout the TVs, sometimes it would be what he thought was best. And I would listen, but, you and I have had many conversations in regards to where I felt like I would not, verbalize myself in these ways. But in due time, we found a good balance. But Hunter was definitely a guy that said, like, what do you want to do? What do you think? What do your characters think? Like, he would work with me because he knew where I came from and he knew what I did. And then he went, I have this dude that looks this way, does these things. I don't want to tell him how to do it because clearly he's understanding what I want from him now. And now I can, work with him. And again, even still that process, you've been thinking about it was a lot of like, I wouldn't say ups and downs, but there were a lot of like, curves and a lot of like learning moments and a lot of conversations, which you and I both know conversations in wrestling are always plenty. There's a lot of conversations to be had prior to like doing one thing. And that's the nature of the business. That's fine. It's also TV. But he would work with me. He wouldn't try to stop me. He wouldn't try to like influence me. He wouldn't say, no, do it this way. He would say, okay. And he would find the middle ground. And then we will both put in like our pennies. And clearly it was a success. And clearly what we wanted to do, it worked. And he made me a marquee player in NXT because of working with me and not trying to stifle creativity and not trying to tell me what to do.